The guardianship stemmed from a financial standpoint. I think the bank felt like something was taking place that Wendy didn't approve of, and they involved the court.
How did you meet Wendy?
It's funny you ask that question because I've met Wendy in multiple different facets. You know, I've met her in the New York scene, us being out, you know, partying.
From what I understand, Wells Fargo froze her account to find out what was happening because it looked as if someone has been nefarious close to her. Who is the person that is taking advantage of Wendy?
Okay, this is a camera. We'll interview. Take one.
Showtime. Can I at least see the shot first, please? I just want to make sure I look like money. I look like something? Okay.
Looking good.
I had.
Okay.
So in other words, has stolen from my account. Right?
I don't know because I'm not involved in your finances, but if you have proof and evidence of that.
Well,
Us being out, you know, partying. I was commissioned to do jewelry for her. And then we just developed a relationship and a bond from there. It went from friendship to management.
But it seems like this news came solely from Kevin by way of being at an appointment with his mom, those two only. And nobody else in the family knows this to be a fact besides Kevin Jr. telling them this information.
In the fall of 2021, why did your mom come to Florida?
My mom came to Florida because we felt as though that her being close to the family would be a huge help.
Tell me about the doctor visits and what you learned.
And from just taking her to appointments and things like that, I was able to really learn more about things going on with my mother internally. They basically said that because she was drinking so much, it was starting to affect her headspace and her brain. So I think they said it was alcohol-induced dementia. Yeah.
And Will, who we will talk about in a few minutes, Will, it seems like he knows a lot about things, but he keeps his mouth shut a lot about it. And speaking of Will and Kevin does not think, Will, in Kevin's word, he believes, in Kevin's own words, he believes Will is a jewel. Now, saying that, I will say that Will is Wendy's second guardian, if you will. There's a guardian appointed by the courts who if let me tell it, Wendy was able to say who she wanted to be her guardian, who she trusted most, or somebody was there to get this information from Wendy. And it seems as if this person doesn't want to be known or noticed to anybody because she doesn't want to be taunted or bothered or by her fans or anything like that. Or maybe the courts appointed some governmental worker who is getting paid by the state of New York to be a guardian for this adult. But to me, it's giving that she was able to choose who she wanted her guardian to be. And if not, she was able to choose who she wants to be around her, because Will is somebody who she met from the nightlife. Will was even hesitant on expressing how he met Wendy. He wasn't fully forthcoming when it came down to it. It was a lot of gestures before answering the question, as if he was trying to get his thoughts together about what he wanted to say in regards to the question. Even adding, like when you ask somebody a question and you repeat the question back to them, sometimes detectives and in body language classes and classes of that nature, you'll be taught that could be a sign of deflection, a sign of falsehood. That could be a sign of they're not being fully forthcoming. That could be a sign of that. That's one of the signs. And what he not that he asked a question back, he had slow to answer the question, and also said something along the lines of, "It's funny that you asked me that because I actually met Wendy in the nightlife."
How did you meet Wendy?
It's funny you ask that question because I've met Wendy in multiple different facets. You know, I've met her in the New York scene. Us being out, you know, partying.
In the nightlife. I think he said, I used to sell jewelry to them, or I used to buy jewelry for her or for them. For her or for them. And if I'm not mistaken, it was for them. Maybe it was for her. But they showed a picture of him and Wendy in the past at the nightlife, at the club in New York, and also panned in on Kevin for whatever Will said about Kevin. I can't remember. Maybe him and Kevin was friends or something like that. But it seems like the documentary was definitely trying to set the stage on where is Wendy and let us show you, and you guys come up with it on your own. You think about it on your own. We're just going to throw this out there. Look at the people that's taking care of her. Here you go.
Us being out, you know, partying. I was commissioned to do jewelry for her. And then we just developed a relationship and a bond from there. It went from friendship to management, which was after her divorce with her ex-husband.
That's what it's like. You know, it's like we're not going to get sued for putting nothing out there, but and no innuendos. Let you guys create all of the conspiracies or create all of the chatter around it. But they knew exactly what they were trying to portray. Because the first thing Will says when he comes on his, again, like I said, Will would be considered the second guardian. He is her manager, managing her career, her life, and basically there with her all the time, damn near 24/7, even bringing her guads of cash when she's getting paid or residuals that she receives. I believe at one point Wendy was singing or chanting like residuals is good. If I'm not mistaken, maybe I'm tripping, but guads of cash that he tried to play like, why you got cash all around here? And Wendy burst his bubble dead in front of the cameras and they didn't edit it out. You just brought me the cash.
How do you have your money just laid out? There's a whole wad of cash in your jewelry box. Huh? Why do you got all this money just in the house?
Boss, you brought it to me.
I just thought that you would put it in the bank at some point.
Cash.
You got at least about 10, 15 bands here.
Oh, yeah, I know, but I thought we would have took it to the bank and deposited it in by now. No, I think that Will is putting on a front. I think that everything that he did on camera while the cameras were rolling was not normal and not usual of him. And because Wendy's not in her right mind and has a chapter book of pages just flipping at every moment in her brain, she's not able to call every little thing out like she used to be. She's not witty with it. And so she's slipping on saying, well, what the fuck? But she was able to catch that. You brought me this cash. So why you trying to come up in here while these cameras is on and show off, like, why you got cash everywhere? You got like wads of cash, you don't care about that? And then he even joked with her. You don't do that. Like, it's like a disrespectful kid and their parent. You don't joke with your disrespectful kid. At no point do you make it okay for this child to continue to disrespect you. Because now at one moment you're playing with them and at the next moment they're disrespectful and they play too much. But over here it's your best friend and you running your mouth telling them all your business and shit like that. So it's like one of those things. He's like, you love cash, don't you? Yeah. No, bro, no.
It's here.
Cash is king.
Cash is king, but you also got to keep it safe. You don't want to put it in the bank? You love that green paper, huh? Yeah.
Hey, Will?
Yes.
Is the cash here also because if it goes in the bank, it goes away?
Living in New York City and being from Atlanta, we're totally different. In Atlanta, we have Southern hospitality. We may have niggas that break into cars that are fucked up and evil and don't give a fuck, have no remorse. But I think that we have more up here than in New York. In New York, these people don't care, okay? They could care less about fraud and going to jail and doing fed time for money. Money is constantly on their mind. And I think that if you did a survey up here with criminals, they are more prone to get money, frauding, thieving, stealing, scamming, scheming, than to kill a person and take the money. And that says a lot. And so I don't put anything past the detectives, past the government up here. New York City is like its own world. And sometimes I find it hard to trust any government entity here in New York City when I am working with them, when I am speaking with them. Like, you know, I have a daughter who I've had dropped off with me, abandoned with me when she was 3 months, and I've had her since she was 3 months. She's 6 years old, going on 7 this year. And when I'm dealing with the government entities up here, it's just like I just feel like You know what I'm saying? Like, they're just not to be trusted. Even the court system. I mean, it's just like they cannot be trusted. Shysty, grimy. An officer, I just feel like, just look at the stories for yourself. You have officers up here who have been in cahoots with things. You have NYCHA, which is like the project of New York City Housing Authority, like Atlanta Public Housing Authority. You have those up there. Wait a minute, hold the fuck up.
From what I understand, Wells Fargo froze her account to find out what was happening because it looked as if someone has been nefarious close to her. Who is the person that is taking advantage of Wendy?
The guardianship stemmed from a financial standpoint. I think the bank felt like something was taking place that Wendy didn't approve of, and they involved the court.
Am I yelling?
You're fine.
Sorry. Him. Long, hard, and fast. I will smoke what I smoke, and I will liquor when I liquor. And I will eat what I eat. How dare him?
Wendy was really tripping on this documentary. So anyway, Will, because I got it playing right here in my face, on my laptop, on my computer. Will is, like I said, is her manager. And Wendy at one point in this documentary said that her guardian, who every time they said this guardian's name, which we know is a she because Will referred to her as she, unless, you know, those are just her pronouns. Maybe she was not born as a she, I don't know. But her pronouns are she and her. She apparently is someone who is who doesn't want to be told, and every time they say her name, they redact her name from it. Wendy has Sean Zanotti around her, which is her publicist, who just recently came over when this documentary got here to be around her more often, to hang out with her. She has been working with Wendy for the period of time of the Wells Fargo situation where somebody tried to take a large amount and they blamed it on her son, Kevin Jr., out of her account, and that's why Wells Fargo sold up her money. I say sold up, funky Dineva.
Some people over there at Wendy House ain't telling the truth. All right? Listen, y'all. And listen to me good. None of what's circulating about Wendy right now is the truth. None of it is the truth. All right. Now, Wells Fargo got her money all sold up or whatever the case may be. The lymphedema, your legs ain't swollen up that bad that you can't sit your ass on that damn purple chair. Then it was the early onset dementia. I don't know. And I ain't got no Miss Cleo running through my DNA, but I always speculated that Wendy had got back on that stuff.
This was just on a whole nother level. Like I said, Kevin thinks that Will is a jewel. I'm sure that they were trying to set a stage and show us how Will was. The first thing he said, like I said, when he got on camera for his interview is, can I see the shot before y'all put it in? I want to make sure I look fresh. I want to make sure I look like money.
Okay, this is a camera. We'll interview. Take one.
Showtime. Can I at least see the shot first, please? I just want to make sure I look like money. I look like something? Okay.
Looking good.
I want to make sure I look like money. At some point, Wendy said that this guardian is stealing money from her. She feels like this guardian is stealing money from her.
I had billions of dollars.
So you said you had billions.
I know
Okay.
exactly what I had.
Okay.
So, in other words, has stolen from my account.
How can she say this and not, not rectify the situation, not have somebody step in and figure out if this is actually true? Just shows that her cognitive and her ability to handle things and do things is not there. I don't understand why she isn't taking it upon herself to ask the same driver who she has driving her around everywhere to take her to the court so she can tell the courts that the guardian that you guys have appointed to me is stealing my money, instead of gossiping about it to somebody else. I don't know. She also, like I said, was being very nasty and made you feel like, you know what, fuck Wendy, she deserved everything that she get. She told the girl that she wished she would get lipo. She felt like her hair was great, her face is good, but she looked down at her body and was like, ugh. Also yelled at the girl like, get up. She pushed the exercise guy, the fitness guy who was helping her. She's talking to the driver any kind of fucking way. She's talking to the producer of Lifetime who's questioning her, doing the interview to any kind of way, telling him to get the hell out of her room. She doesn't want to see her face. Talking to her stylist any kind of way, saying she can't stand her. I mean, she was really being nasty and rude in this documentary over and over and over again. And it just felt like, wow, Wendy, Will made made it seem like. And he had this girl Keisha, who it felt like it was just all so fake. Like his company hired Keisha, and you're telling me that Keisha was hired legitimately by Will. Keisha was hired legitimately by Will, and she's here to help Wendy. Yeah, no, I think that is just a whole bunch of mess that Wendy got going on, and I promise you she would have a lot more money if she paid attention. You better believe a lot of her money is gone. A lot of her money is being stolen from her. A lot of her money is being taken from her, and there's nothing nobody can do about it until someone trustworthy who is not taking her money can come in and handle it. And I think the only person that can possibly do that is probably Alex Finney, Alex Finney, which is her niece. I think that she can be trusted enough to come in, count Wendy's coins, see where every dime is coming in and leaving out, and also manage and find the best manager for Wendy's life and make sure they report every fucking thing to the family, Wanda, and multiple people, so that there is no way for anyone to steal anything, because Kevin will be watching Wanda will be watching Kevin, Alex will be watching them both. You know, it needs to be the financial statements, everything, every residual check, every residual dime Wendy is receiving needs to be reported to someone who is trustworthy, multiple trustworthy people, so that everybody has the same status and these same stats. My skepticism with Will continued even more. Like I said, he situated himself. He said that he wanted to see the shot before they posted or before they put the shot together, because he wanted to make sure he looked like money. And he said, like I said, it was almost like he was asking a question with the question, but not really. Just like hesitating, ramping up, saying other words so that it can give him time to think of what he wanted to say next. He said that he bought jewelry for her. And it's just given that he bought cocaine for her. Like, I don't know if anybody else caught that, but it wasn't given that he bought jewelry for her. It was given that he buys cocaine for Wendy, and that Wendy had a say on who was going to be her manager, or who was going to manage her career. And she trusted him. And you know what? I would trust, I could trust a person who's been buying me coke for many, many years. A person who's been buying me coke for many years and ain't never slipped up and brought me no bullshit, no fentanyl. I think I can say that this person, and he never got in trouble or caught up or fucked up with the law. I think I would trust this person to manage my life too. That's just allegedly, okay? I don't know if he used to buy coke for Wendy, but it's giving that, you know, it just don't sound right. Like you met Wendy in many facets, the nightlife, and you used to buy jewelry for her. Like, no. It's giving what kind of jewelry? White jewelry that go up your nose, and you calling it jewelry, because it just doesn't make sense. And so your jewelry middleman turned manager for a what you call A-list celebrity, which Wendy is probably B-list, teetering tottering on the C-list line. But I don't know. It's just given, I don't trust Will. I don't trust Will. I don't trust her guardian, her court-appointed guardian. And I don't trust, I kind of do trust Sean Zanotti, okay? I fuck with Sean Zanotti because the lady just got in. Although Sean come off as sneaky, she knew not to take Wendy to Cali and allow her to drink like that. No matter what, you don't let her drink like that. You should have told her no. You know, that was something. But, you know, can we hold that against Sean so much when it's just one time? And Will is with her how many times? And Will just bought her 15 bands. So that means Will is cashing the checks and Will is bringing her the cash. Is Wendy coherent enough to know what she's making and how much her residuals are? And is she coherent enough to be doing the math? Does she have a court-appointed accountant? What about that? Is this guardian a guardian of finances or guardian of Wendy's life and well-being? You know, I don't know. Questions to be asked, questions to be asked, and answers to be answered. I think that's all that I wanted to add. If Wendy had say so in having Kevin put out of the courtroom that day, they said that, you know, she asked for liquor and a Whopper when asked, what do you need? And she wanted Kevin out. So if the courts are listening to her about certain things, why wouldn't anybody think that the courts clearly listened to her about Will being around her? Like I said, Will can't even fully answer how he met her in many facets, in the nightlife, and I used to get jewelry for her. No, you used to party with her. We know in the coke world, in the drug world, we know party means snorting coke. Having some coke with your friend. Party means that. That's what party means in the coke world. Party means snorting coke. He didn't say that. He said party as in we used to have fun, have a good time. But it just makes me feel that way. And we know that Wendy struggled with cocaine. Look at him. I mean, I don't know. I just don't trust him. And Wendy having some cognitive issues. Why would they allow her to choose who her manager is? Her jeweler turned manager. He's now her manager. Like, if she has cognitive issues, you guys allow her to say bye Kevin, hello Will. You know what I'm saying? And you don't think he's getting some money on the back end, and he already getting it on the front end because she got to pay him for working, but he definitely doing shit on the back end. As soon as she leaves and you put her in the rehab, which she says she don't know why the fuck you did it and why the guardian did it, and you tried to play like, yeah, this is why. When you put her away, you also sold the shit out of her house or got rid of the stuff in her house. Why couldn't she be there and be a part of it? Why did she have to be put away because she needed rest, blah, 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 and then you decided to clear the apartment? Granted, Wendy did say she was already selling some things in the apartment to buy liquor or whatever, but why would you do that? And then not only that, you are the one bringing her wads of cash. How do we know that you're not making her believe that you sold her things that she wanted sold, and you actually just took her own money and showed her own money and said, hey, here's what you made off of these few items, when in fact you got your homies from Harlem or Brooklyn coming down to get the shit and just showing Wendy her same money? You know, I don't know. It just give me he doing something slick. I don't know that to be true. I don't know. This is just my speculation and in my opinion, I feel like he's not right. And he just sneaky and he's not to be trusted. Him nor the guardian. I don't know. And if they're doing that, if they're doing court appointed guardians, then do a court appointed independent accountant that can come in and account for all of the money, all of everything, and see what the hell Will has been making on the front and the back end if you can. But I don't know. I just don't trust it. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that her life is this way. I hope that they are able to fix this for Wendy and clear all this up. I mean, including her damn feet. I think that at some point they need to just chop those mugs off for real. And I think that at some point Wendy needs to have somebody come in, some independent person come in and evaluate her surroundings, and have a separate person come in and evaluate her cointages and make sure her cointages are doing well. Her niece comes off as a very trustworthy person, but she also comes off as very jealous of the fact that Wendy has people around her who who she feels is stealing from her. And it comes off as if the family is wanting a piece of Wendy's money, so you guys want her with y'all so bad, not just because y'all love her, y'all want to care for her well-being, but y'all also, and not to say that they want to steal the money, they want to be worried about what she has. They want to be all in her bank account and know how much Wendy got, how much she's spending, how much she's making, how much she's holding on to. They want to be all in the Kool-Aid.
There have been stories suggesting that the family may have exploited her financially.
Well, there's a lot of blogs that come out, and the accusation was made that the entire family is trying to steal her money.
Wells Fargo have this guardianship petition about keeping me away from my money.
So my mom made me power of attorney because at that time, the banks were trying to, around that time they started accusing the family of doing things that weren't true and saying that my mom wasn't fit to make choices on her own.
Now, eventually that turns into, can I have some money? Can you pay for this? Can you pay for that? But I think Wendy's choice to allow Will into her life like this may not be the best. I'm not going to say Will is not the best, because maybe he is the right person for this, and maybe he is deserving of more money. But I feel that Will may be stealing money from her. And I say that in a way of course, he's getting paid by her. He has to get paid. But if he's the one cashing the checks, he also stated at one point that he created her a separate bank account. She said at one point Bank of America, which we know Wells Fargo is the one got the money tied up, but Bank of America is something that Wendy stated in this documentary that she was getting money out of her Bank of America account. So, maybe that's what he did, but it just seems like he would be paying himself too. Wendy is the one signing off on these checks, but it seems like he would be the one telling Wendy how many hours I worked and this is how much I need, and also on the back end taking something, because clearly he's the one bringing her cash. He's bringing her cash. So where's he getting it from? Is he cashing her checks on her behalf, or is the guardian, who don't want her name told, who Wendy just accused to her niece of stealing money from her?
I had.
Okay.
So in other words, has stolen from my account. Right?
I don't know because I'm not involved in your finances, but if you have proof and evidence of that.
Well,
she says she feels like this woman is stealing money from her. This guardian, they redacted her name every time they mentioned her name. She feels like this woman is stealing money. Is the woman stealing money from Wendy? I think that somebody's taking some money from Wendy. She's careless. She's completely careless. She's a rich ass woman and she's careless. And she is going through it right now. I think that this was a great documentary. I think that, Kevin, whether he took money or not, they were ready for him to be away from being her guardian or her medical proxy or whatever, because you know what? He has too much influence from his father, her ex-husband, who people continue to blame for her downfall, which he is a part of it. I don't think he's the sole blame of it, because like this documentary stated, her mother died, COVID happened, and this baby and this divorce happened. All of that was something that broke her. But anyway, this is I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say about the documentary. Her sister came on, her dad came on, her brother came on. Do I feel like it was exploitation? I don't know, because I loved it so much and I wanted it so much and I anticipated it so much. I was waiting on something like this to drop. So I don't know if I even look at it as exploitation, because all these famous people do it. Like I said, Lisa Left Eye Lopez recorded her own documentary. Wendy Williams basically essentially recorded this herself, because as you've seen, executive produced by Wendy D. Williams, the first name and the first credit there, ending and beginning of all 4 parts, Wendy Williams. So although she sued them a couple of days before releasing it, thinking that the judge would grant her stay order, they ended up dropping it because she didn't give a good enough reason, and she signed a contract, and the judge is automatically going to fulfill this contract if there is not a good enough reason for him to stop it. Unfortunately, he closed out her case and without prejudice, so she can file it again, but the show must go on. So I don't know. This was a great documentary. Wendy does have a drinking problem. Wendy does have a cognitive issue where she's forgetting things, where she's saying the wrong thing. And this shit started back on the show. She used to say, started putting the wig up here, the notes up here, because she was forgetting so much shit. And so I don't think it was just because of Kevin's situation. I think it got worse because of that. But whatever was going on at home, Wendy does a good job at wrapping up her life. She has always wrapped up her life with a bow very well, even if it's a mess behind this wrapping paper. She always made it look so pretty and like nothing was going on in her life. And they did a really good job doing that, even down to the snorting coke. She explained that recently, one of her latest episodes, that she was getting high on the show, on the Wendy Williams show, as far as some years ago, she said. I forgot how many years ago she said, but she had, I think if she does have dementia, coke, crack, alcohol, ass beatings, and curses is what I feel like caused it. Even her feet, those monsters of a thing. But I feel so horrible for Wendy. This is so unfortunate that Wendy Williams is dealing with all that she is dealing with. And as she put it, no money. And she kept talking about this podcast, and it's like, the podcast is not happening, Wendy. I don't know. Something's not right. Did Sherri Shepherd talk about it today? I don't know. I didn't watch Sherri Shepherd. Maybe she did talk about it, but I see that Sherri Shepherd seems like she is making it an effort to not speak negatively about Wendy. But I know that if Wendy passed away, Lord forbid, the show would do an entire bid about her. But when it comes down to news and bad news about Wendy, Sherri steers clear from giving any commentary on news or information regarding Wendy Williams, which I think is a great look. I think it's a great look for them not to mention Wendy unless it's giving sentiments to Wendy and keeping it short and quick and move on. Do not dwell, because then people begin to reminisce and, you're not Wendy. Oh, I forgot about Wendy. Sherri's not Wendy. Damn, how fun was her? So we're trying to brainwash people into believing that you're funny and you're great TV, when Sherri is just sometimes just so boring and not funny. I don't know. Add Kim and Sherri show in the morning. Anyway, I am Rico Bellucci. I don't really know what else I could say about this. I am out of here. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, and thank you guys so much for tuning in. Baby, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I didn't know you was over here.
You had a big doctor day today. 3 doctors.
Yes.
So you saw a thyroid doctor, right? And then did you see a neurologist?
I guess so. I guess to find out if I'm crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. I'm only supposed to have one doctor, and that's for the thyroid. The other 2 doctors are because my money's stuck in Wells Fargo. Yes. And tomorrow I go to the psychiatrist to find out, how are you feeling? So what's been happening? Excuse me. No, I don't need a test. For what?
Thanks for watching. Please, be sure to hit the subscribe button and hit that bell so you can be notified every time we go live, post a video, or post a post. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Also, check out our podcast everywhere podcasts can be heard. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, and more. Just search The Urban Binge Radio wherever you prefer to hear your podcasts. Follow us on all social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, plus more, at The Urban Binge. Oh yeah, and don't forget to subscribe to both our channels, at Rebel TV and at Rebel TV 2, for more exciting reviews, fun vlogs, short films, and more.